everyone. It is precisely 2 p.m. And everyone who knows me knows I start precisely on time. My name is My name is Kathy Obb, and I'm president of the Sandwich Arts Alliance. And I am here to welcome all of you to our new home. This iconic building, with its rich legacy as the seat of Sandwich Town government since 1834, is now the heart of our artistic community. It is a place where creativity will flourish, and the arts will come alive in ways we have never seen before. This beautiful location represents a significant step forward for the Arts Alliance. It offers us a space that not only reflects the importance of the arts, but also offers the resources and the atmosphere needed to nurture and showcase the incredible talents of our visual, performing, and literary artists. I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude on behalf of our whole team at the Alliance to everyone who has supported us on our journey, from our dedicated members and volunteers to our generous donors and partners. Together we can create a legacy that will inspire for generations to come. Thank you for your continued support, and welcome to our new home. It is now my pleasure and my honor to introduce to you Dave Slattery. He is the Deputy Executive Director of the Massachusetts Cultural Council. Dave, thanks so much for coming.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Kathy, and thank you so much for inviting me and the Mass Cultural Council to be here today as part of your celebration. Such a warm welcome. My name is, as Kathy said, Dave Slattery. I am the Deputy Executive Director of Mass Cultural Council. That is your state's Arts and Cultural Council. It's wonderful to be here today and to really celebrate this amazing new home of the Sandwich Arts Alliance. This is a tremendous story. I've been hearing it since I've been here today, and I want to hear more. This is a great story. We are Mass Cultural Council, your state arts agency. We serve the Commonwealth and all who live, work, and play here by amplifying creativity, providing resources, expanding relationships, and championing transformational changes that maintain and grow a thriving creative and cultural ecosystem. And that's great, because I can't see a better example of it than this project here. I have a great job, which is executive director. I get to travel throughout the Commonwealth and talk about the cultural sector and all the great things it does. And now I have another story to tell from seeing this place. Spaces to create, rehearse, perform, and enjoy art are all essential for a thriving cultural sector. So on behalf of our governing council, thank you, sorry. Okay, on behalf of our governing council and executive director, Michael Bobbitt, I want to congratulate you on this exciting new chapter. I am proud to support the organization. We provided some small support in festivals and projects to the Sandwich Arts Alliance, but I'm also very proud to indicate that we provided a $200,000 capital grant to enable this building to be renovated to host such a And I hope to learn more as the program proceeds this afternoon, but this is a wonderful example of a public-private partnership. This focuses the fact, historic structure, center of town, which focuses the importance of the arts and cultural sector in Massachusetts. I can't think of a better example. We are proud of the organization. We're proud of this, especially, and I do note here that they participate in our Card to Cultural program, which enables financially challenged families and individuals to participate in the arts who otherwise couldn't, so they're one of the charter members of that. We're proud of that, and we're very happy to be here to support this today. So none of this, though, that we do for the arts for anybody would be possible without our support in the legislature. And I want to thank, I know that Senator Moran's speaking later, but I wanted to take a minute to thank one of Mass Cultural Council's strongest partners in the legislature who is joining us today. Representative X, thank you, Representative, for all you do to advance the creative and cultural sector. Thank you all. We're delighted to see what happens with this project. And I would like to formally introduce Representative Steven Zaros.
Hey, everybody. I am proud to be here, but I'm calling up my partner, State Senator Susan Moran, and we're going to do this together. So for me, real quick, it's all about Michael Bobbitt, right? This man that I met on the Mayflower in Plymouth, and we became friends, and he's the director of all of this, and he taught me a lesson. He said, Steve, it's about the power of culture. And to have this in our own district, the 5th Barnstable district, is very special. It changes lives. So I really want to give a heads up and a congratulations to Michael Bobbitt and your whole team, because it doesn't happen without that. And it's also nice to do something positive. There's so much going on in the world that we deal with as elected officials, and some of it is very tough. But today we celebrate. And when I walked in here, it felt right. It just feels right, and the vibe and the energy. So I'm proud, and now I'd like Senator Moran to say a few words, and then we'll do what we're gonna do together. All right.
As we do. Thank you, Steve. And it's really so humbling to feel the collaboration that is evident here when you look at patrons of the arts, the artists, when you connect it to this building and the stages that this building has seen historically. And it makes perfect sense when you think about Sandwich, and it's anyone, I'm continuing on the Joint Tourism and Arts Committee, and anyone who thinks about Sandwich, of course, the first thing is the glass arts in just a long history of elevating the combination of talent and the community. And so we wanted to recognize that on behalf of the legislature in the opening here, and we brought from the State House a citation for the Sandwich Arts Alliance and recognizing the Alliance's contributions to Greater Cape Cod, empowering arts and culture, enriching its communities, and the nonprofit's successful growth and longevity since 2015. So who would like to accept, please?
You know what's interesting is it was just 8 short years ago that we started as the Sandwich Arts Alliance, and when we were packing up our last location and moving here, we came across a citation that Randy Hunt presented to us. Congratulations on our new building, and if it weren't for Randy Hunt advocating for us and getting us a $20,000 grant, we would not have had a place to go. So it goes to show you, it all matters. And I've been thinking about that a lot lately, that sometimes when you're in the throes of what it is we do, you think that it really doesn't matter that much. And this is another example how every person's contribution matters enormously. And thank you all again for coming out. We're going to adjourn upstairs so that we can have a little celebration up there, and we'll have some acknowledgement. Oh, I forgot the ribbon. We could have had a red ribbon, but no, we're the creatives. Come on. So who's going to come? Okay. Could we have a couple of town people up here? Bud, Heather.
We should recognize town people.
Okay, select board.
Those are your offices that you gave up.
We're gonna do the ribbon cutting and then we're gonna get a picture with everybody
Chamber of
here
Commerce.
up on the stairs.
You're welcome to. And they let the former police officer hold the scissors. So that's okay. Ready?
Are we ready? Are we ready?
Wait. Okay.
Are we ready?
Yes.
One. They always want to rush. Should I try it again?
It's kind of what yeah, I'm just parked on.
Not yet. Yet. Thank you, everyone. The next group that are about to be photographed, Town Hall Preservation Trust. All the members of Town Hall Preservation Trust. It's all the same people. Thank you, Madeline. Town Hall Preservation Trust, anyone else? Gonna try a couple. Thank you, everyone. We have another group. Just shows you how hard everyone in this town works. Anyone with the Sandwich Cultural Council? Sandwich Cultural Council members? Oh, Beth, I knew you were around here somewhere. That's okay, swallow.
Can we pull have to come in. You have to be in the picture.
Oh, okay. All right. So who should be in the picture? Beth? Sandwich Cultural Council members, squish up. You need to get in front of the cake, in back of the cake. You guys have to get together here. Did you get your picture taken with Dave? Okay, let's go. Squish up. Sandwich Cultural Council people. These are the people that give us money. John is ready.
If you're not going to do it now,
I'm going to. Thank you very much, everyone. Dave needs to take. Hey, listen, we got to show them you're working, Dave. Come on. I haven't said that yet. Nope. Yeah, it would be, but I'm. So, everyone, if I could have your attention, please. Hello.
you got to speak up, Kathy. Kathy.
Okay, I'm trying. Louder. It's okay. So, while everyone is enjoying each other's company, I wanted to make a special acknowledgement to some very special people in the room. And as I have said a number of times before, we are only 8 years old. How crazy is that? Okay. But we do have guests with us today who were original founders of the Sandwich Arts Alliance. And without them, we would definitely not be here. So first of all, Joanne Westerhouse, our founder, where is she? Where is she? Come up here. She taught me everything I know, and she was very, very patient. Well, sometimes. The second person, so I'm thinking of the people who, in the very beginning, obviously Joanne was our founder, and she was a force of nature, as we all know. The original groups, and I'm talking about visual, performing, and literary, the people who kicked those programs off the ground. Performing, Todd Herman and Melinda Gallant. Where is Melinda? So we've come a long way since the early days, because what we used to do in the early days is sit in a room and all the performing people would say, let's do a show. They want to perform, right? Literary. Our literary founders, Dean Coe and Christy Lawrence. Where is Christy? Thank you. There we are, squished together. Yes, well, I know, but I'm talking about people that ran the programs. Yep. Original board members who are here today, Pat Mosca and Ann Sayer from the early days. And of course, we're still putting them to work, right? June Kershaw, who is no longer with us, was one of our visual coordinators in the very beginning. And Catherine Kleekamp, who is not with us today, was a person who rounded up a lot of artists to get us rolling. So, and Wade Sayer also, who we lost. But these are devoted folks to the Sandwich Arts Alliance. So thank you. Thank you, everyone. That's it? What do you want? What? Yes. I think I have everyone. I was intending to get everyone who was here. Do we have everyone? Bravo. Thank you. So the town of Sandwich has been very patient listening to all of our accolades of each other. We would not be here without the select board members at the town of Sandwich who helped us pave the way to be able to secure this space in the building. So I'm going to turn it over to our vice chair of this select board. You will recognize him because he literally goes to every single thing that happens in the town of Sandwich. So here he is, Charlie.
Thank you very much. And again, welcome. It is truly marvelous that in 8 years, this organization of multi-talents and community appeal finds itself operating in the central location of historic Sandwich. Here from town, in addition to myself, and in support of the celebration are Select Board members Michael Miller and Robert George, Assistant Town Manager Heather Harper, Director of Economic Development Ralph Fataco, Building Commissioner Brendan Brides, and Library Director Diane Castagliola. And now, if I may, a word from Town Manager Bud Dunham.
Thank you, Charlie. Kathy asked me to just give a brief history of the building, so that's what I did. So again, my name is Bud Dunham, and I'm the town manager in Sandwich. As I said, Kathy asked me to briefly highlight some of the history of the building, and I want to acknowledge local resident and history aficionado Jonathan Shaw, whose research and passion informed a lot of what I will say about the building's history. Town Hall was originally built in 1834, and if you think about what our community must have looked like back then, the building represented a very remarkable expression of civic pride that residents had in our town. The building itself was constructed for, get this, $4,138.32. And it was fully constructed in 1 year. Think about how long it would take today to prepare plans, appropriate money, build a structure, much less how many public meetings we'd have to go to, public votes, what the final cost would be, bidding requirements, prevailing wages, bid protests, permitting. You wouldn't be able to do this today because it's too close to the stream. When Sandwich Town Hall was built, it was one of, if not the very first, municipal building in the Commonwealth constructed following a statewide vote the year before in 1833 to separate church and state. And prior to this time, town meetings, elections, and other municipal business was almost exclusively conducted in local churches, especially in rural communities like ours. And during its early life, the building included private businesses on the first floor, was the site for residents to enlist in the Civil and First World Wars. It hosted the very first public demonstration of the telephone in 1878. Teens today do not even know what a telephone is. In 1910, a significant addition was added to the back of the building, which is the stage and the rear stairwell. It should be noted that the paint colors that you see today, both inside and outside, are based on the actual colors from 1910, so that was the guide throughout the building. And in 1976, our nation's bicentennial, the town hall and the colonial and post-colonial homes and buildings surrounding it were designated by the federal government as a Town Hall Square National Register Historic District. So bringing us closer to modern times, the town, largely through the efforts of Select Board member Patrick Ellis and his colleagues, decided to invest significant funds and efforts to restore Town Hall. Appropriations from the Community Preservation Act were made in 2008, 2009, and 2010. We kept going over budget, totaling $3.1 million, with an additional $200,000 raised from other sources and donations. The dedication of the fully restored building took place in the fall of 2010, almost 13 years to the day from today. The design, which was prepared by McGinley-Calso Architects, and the construction by Builders Systems, Inc., a Central Mass company that actually has offices in Sandwich, won the 2011 Massachusetts Historical Commission Preservation Award for the entire state. And it also received a special state recognition for uniquely meeting accessibility requirements for a historic building. The town wasn't quite done, and we appropriated another $350,000 from the CPA in 2012 to improve the pedestrian access, the surrounding retaining wall, and what's commonly known as the Town Hall bubbler area. Which brings us to the Arts Alliance. So when the new municipal office space was established at 100 Route 6A a year ago, the Select Board and town staff thought a lot about how best to reuse the first floor space at Town Hall while still protecting critical municipal meeting space needs. A public request for proposals was conducted, and under the oversight of Assistant Town Manager Heather Harper, Director of Planning and Development Ralph Fataco, and our former Library Director Joanne Lamont, a recommendation was made to the Select Board to award a lease to the Sandwich Arts Alliance. The lease was approved by the board. Compromises were made by both sides. I wanted to stress that because the highest level of government, no matter what side you're on, the highest level of government has forgotten how to do that. Our state officials and our local people, we have to do it every day. And the Arts Alliance started its operations here a few months ago. At last night's Select Board meeting, we started with an early portion of the meeting in the downstairs conference room, and everyone to a person remarked how great it was for the first floor to be used in such a perfect, lively, and welcoming way. We can only imagine what things will look like further down the road, and I want to acknowledge Heather again and town staff and the Arts Alliance were instrumental in that grant submission to the state, and I think Director Slattery's still here, but thank you for the $200,000. I'm not very technical for building things, but unfortunately, portions of the roof in the front of the building are best described as squishy. So hopefully we'll get that resolved quickly. And just to close, as I mentioned earlier, Town Hall was originally constructed following the very inception of the separation of church and state in Massachusetts. That being said, one of the speakers at the 2010 rededication ceremony, the worst speaker, me, followed the historic restoration of the building with the following, which I stole directly from the church. This is the building the townspeople of Sandwich hath made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. We would all be hard-pressed to think of a better organization to maximize the enjoyment of this great building in this space than the Sandwich Arts Alliance. Thank you.
Is it live? Just one little trivia thing. If you think about our logo, which is on the circle, and then you look up, we spent the first 2 months agonizing over what to pick for a logo for the organization 8 years ago. And we just said, let's not use the boardwalk. Everybody was using the boardwalk. So we went through all these different iterations. If you look up, you will see our logo because we took it from the stencil, and that's like eerie Twilight Zone stuff.
It's beautiful, the fleur de lis. And personally, I would just like to say in wrapping up, I have a very special team here at Town Hall, at our real Town Hall. And these folks were on texting terms with me when we were going through so many decisions. We could not have done it without them, without their responsiveness and their help. So I would like to acknowledge again Heather Harper, Ralph Attacchio, and Leanne Drake, wonderful people who worked so hard to make sure that this succeeded for all of us. So thank you.